Somewhere, but I speak to Lenny maybe once a month. Al Di Meola a little closer with a couple times a month, and they're all moving along. There's always some talk about the band possibly getting back together again, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it sort of has to come from me and Chick. I don't think Chick. But then again, Chick's very unpredictable. He may just call up one day and say, "Oh, let's do it." It's our little joke. We say, "Man, let's do it before we have to come out in walkers."
Yeah, if you're gonna do it. Don't wait too long.
There's a small chance.
We got a sound check on here. We're good. Ready to go?
Ready to roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, nobody ever hears my questions.
That's okay.
It's only your answers, so
Yeah.
you got to kind of incorporate that. We were all asking each other, have you ever seen a band with two bass players? Nobody could come up with one. Is there?
The only band that I ever saw with two bass players that worked was a band that I had many years ago. One time, me and Miroslav Vitos, the great Czechoslovakian bass player, we did a duet tour maybe 12 years ago. We did some concerts around Europe, but before that, there was the musician Sun Ra. He had a band with, one time I played with him in Philadelphia, and he had 11 bass players. It didn't work, but it was sure, it looked good.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's fun. I think having two bass players in a band is very similar to having two drummers in a band. I mean, the two players have to really have an understanding of each other and a keen sense of just understanding where you're at on the instrument, and it's a really interesting thing. And me and Armand, I've known Armand. I met him when he was 14 in Paris. He was just a young guy, and I was just over there, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to play bass," and he finally got into the bass and played it, and went on to play with a lot of people. And I think he was playing with Paul Simon's Graceland tour. He was the bass player, part of that musician with all the African musicians. And after that, we became really good friends, and we hang out a lot in Los Angeles. We live close to each other, and just our bass heads are really, kind of together, so it's nice.
Well, tell us about the duet that you did tonight.
With Armand?
Yeah.
It's a great thing, See, the thing I like about playing with Armand is even though he uses some techniques, that I might have come up with in other American bass players, underneath it, he has a sense of, he's very Afrocentric, meaning like it's coming from an African thing, the way he hears rhythm, and that's what makes him so interesting, and I'm always learning something new from him. It's just the combination of all the things. It's great. He's a phenomenal bass player, and not just a bass player. He's a great composer. He produces well, and he's a great musician.
And you found this young violin player too. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, Mads. Yeah, Mads was a great find. I just love the violin. I love that instrument, and I was talking to Jean-Luc Ponty on the phone one day, and I said, "Jean-Luc, who's like the next guy? Who's the next person?" So he gave me 6 names, and 5 of these guys had websites. So Jean-Luc says, "Here, man, go to their website. You can download their stuff." So he says, "But this guy Mads doesn't have a website." So just for the hell of it, I went on all these guys' websites. I just had a feeling that Mads was going to be the guy because he didn't have a website, right? And I was right. All these other guys had these websites, slick, One guy, he was posing, the whole thing. It was great. And Mads was just a kid, out there trying to get it together and going to Berkeley. He's a fine musician. The thing I like about Mads is, he obviously has, he's 22, 23 years old, so he has a keen understanding of, modern music, but he really understands the tradition of jazz music, for a guy that young to play, Confirmation, like we did tonight with the Charlie Parker tune, that's really something. So he's a great musician. I actually predict that he's going to be great, really great, a very important musician in jazz music one day.
Now, your drummer is a kick-ass dude.
Yeah, Jerry. Well, Jerry, we go all the way back to Philadelphia together. He's actually, believe it or not, the first musician that I ever played with. I think I was maybe 12 years old, and I remember going into the band room in this school, you know, and there was this guy in there twirling sticks, you know, and playing the drums. And it was Jerry, and that's how we met. We started playing together, and we've been playing ever since.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you left out your two keyboard players.
Yeah, Nick Smith is a musician from Cleveland, Ohio. That I met him when I was playing with George Duke. He sort of, I think he came up on the stage and wanted to play with us at a sound check or something, and then eventually he actually sat in with us on the show, and it's great. The other keyboard player, Eric Carter, is a great producer in Los Angeles. He works with a lot of people and sort of a sound designer, and he's in the band as well, doing sounds, and it's nice. I really like this band. It's very, you know, we can play a lot of, you know, diverse, you know, things. So it's nice.
Speaking of sound, we had a lot of sound when you were saying Nick Smith and you played with George Duke, and that truck came by at that point, right?
Yeah.
Can you just do the intro
Should we do that?
on Nick Smith?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I met Nick Smith when I was playing with George Duke. We were playing a show in Cleveland, and Nick came up on the stage and played with us. I think he was maybe 16 or 17, something like that, you know.
You find all these guys so young.
Yeah, when they're young, you know.
They just flock to you or something?
Yeah, I don't know. They're there.
Now you got the crowd going with the upright bass
Yeah.
solo. Now, you know, how do you approach that? Not too many people do bass solos the way, you know, bass solos everybody turns off to something
Yeah.
else, but not when you're up.
Well, you know, I've been playing bass solos for a long time. I think, you know, should we do that again?
Please. Thanks for listening.
Hey, can you hold it with that over there, huh? Yo!
Yeah, they're doing the trap.
Yeah, bass solos. I've been playing bass solos for a long time. I think my initial approach to the instrument was as a bass soloist. You know, I always tried to make the bass sound better than it is. I try to sort of because, you know, the instrument has limitations sound-wise and just physically. You know, it's a very cumbersome instrument to play on. You know, and I spent a lot of time figuring out what things sound good on the bass and what things don't, especially with chords and different harmonies. And if you take the time and really study the instrument and really get inside the instrument and really figure it out, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with that instrument that are very, you know, that's very musically pleasing and even entertaining. So that's what I do. I have a lot of fun up there. I mean, that's the one that I could actually play hours on the bass, just continuous solos, you know, but I don't know whether an audience would like that, but I remember once I went out on tour and I opened up to Miles Davis for maybe 5 or 6 shows, and I had a lot of fun because I remember playing those. Miles just wanted me to play bass solos, you know, so I played like 35 minutes, and I remember him standing on the side looking, you know, so I knew I was doing something okay, you know, because he could see it, he understood, you know what I was doing. I mean, that's my thing. That's what I am, a bass soloist, you know.
And you were telling me before about Return to Forever. When fans might be interested to know.
Yeah, you know, well, a lot of people wonder, you know, whether the band's going to get back together again. I mean, you know, the way it looks right now, honestly, I don't think so. You know, I really don't think so.
The band, we don't know which band.
Oh, the band Return to Forever, which, yeah, the Rolling Stones. We're not. Oh, the band Return to Forever. Yeah, I you know, a lot of people ask, fans, you know, they want to know whether we're going to get back together again. And the way it looks right now, I don't think so. But then, you know, I can never say never. When it comes to music and musicians, you can never say never, you know. And also boxers, too, you know. So, you know, you can never say never, you know. They keep coming back. You know, I mean, maybe Chick will want to do something. I think at the moment he's touring with his electric band, and he has all kinds of other projects and things. And, you know, I speak to probably Al Di Meola the most, you know. Lenny White, I try to speak to him at least once or twice a month, and Chick, you know, maybe a couple times a year, and you know, everyone's doing okay. They're doing their thing, and it would be nice. It would be nice. I think, actually, if the band got back together again, I think it would be a nice thing. Not just for us, you know. I think it would, you know, would be a nice thing for music, you know, especially in the jazz universe. It would be a nice thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah, how about Newport? Coming up to Newport, you've been here before, and
Yeah, the last time I was here, I was with a trio called the Right of Strings with Al Di Meola and John Luponti. Yeah, and that was nice. You know, I like coming here. I think the thing I like about the Newport Festival is, especially after seeing Dave Brubeck, is you know, I like that George keeps a sense of the old tradition in these festivals here. You know, because you know sometimes you travel around and you see like jazz festival. You know, the JV whatever jazz festival or this, and then you know maybe there's no jazz artists on that on the festivals. You know, I mean, you go, well, there's, let's see, there's Ohio Players, or what is it, Earth, Wind and Fire. Okay. But anyway, you know, this is nice because you know, it was great seeing Dave. I remember I played with Dave and I was 19 or 20. You know, and so, you know, the last time I saw Dave was maybe 11 years ago in a luggage store. And I walked by him and he says, "Did you ever get that piece of luggage?" You know, and he remembered, and you know, it was nice. You know, it's nice to, because I mean that's you know my line, my tradition. You know, that's where I go back to. You know, that's my whole thing goes back to those guys. You know, and it's great. So that's the thing I like about this festival. So a lot of people played here at this festival.
you know, the next year is the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, I actually hope that George would invite me here. It'd be nice, you know, because it's a good thing. It's a great festival. I think could be my favorite, actually. Yeah.
Could you give me a line about the 50th anniversary?
Well, I think it's great. You know, I'm sure it's, you know, it's.
They're not hearing me say 50th anniversary. They have to hear you say 50th.
Oh yeah, the 50th anniversary. I think it'll be a nice thing because, you know, usually those numbers when you do things, you get to 50 years of doing anything, you should celebrate. You know, but in this case, I mean, just look at all the people that have played here. I mean, it's like an amazing, you know, every icon in jazz has performed here. You know, I remember seeing the very first. It might have been PBS that did that. I don't know. The very first Newport Festival. I forget all the artists, but it was like it was great. You know, and you know,
from the 50s, the summer,
yeah.
Some jazz on a summer's
Yeah,
day.
yeah. It was a nice piece. Nice piece.
You know, what they're suggesting to me they might do is invite guys like you, but not with their bands, to put people together.
That would be nice.
Combinations like in the
Yeah.
old festival days when they would do that.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
the artists get into it.
Be nice to have a big band and, you know, and invite all the guys. It'd be fun. A lot of fun, man. You know, it was nice when I saw Dave. You know, just sort of, you know, really threw me back. You know, for me, it started for me in the early '70s. You know, but it just put me right back there. It was nice. Nice feeling.
Stanley, you gave me plenty of great stuff. I
Good.
don't want to keep you all night, but
Cool.
it was a lot of fun.
All right.
Next time you talk to Lenny, tell him I said hello.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Manhattan Project.
Yeah,
You know, I
that's
was checking that out the other, I don't know, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that was a great project there.
That's fun.